Okay, so we're looking at changing this pump, and there's two bolts at the top. They're quite easy to get to. I can't really show them you without extra light. There you go. That one there. There's one on the other side, just under the vacuum unit, and then there's one directly at the bottom of it, just above the auxiliary belt. Now that is not good to get to, so what we're going to do is going to undo a lot of the front end, try and get a bit of space by pulling it off towards us, see if that'll help things. Apparently you can do it without having to do that, but maybe you've got special socket extensions that fit to get in, and things like that. But there's a couple of fuel lines running just right next to the head of the bolt that's underneath, which make things really awkward. Some plastic lines down there at the back, the corrugated covered ones, they're just right next to the head of the bolt. So I think we're going to end up loosening the front off and try to get a bit of access that way. Okay, so up to now I've undone the couple of bolts that hold the headlights in. I took the front grille off first. That was just a couple of torque screws and some popping plastic studs. Swung that headlight out of the way. Now I'm looking at undoing these. Take the black metal bit, loosen the black metal bit off, and hopefully that'll come forward and give us a little bit of room to work on the injector pump. That's what I'm hoping. So I'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, then we're back with this Sprinter injector pump access for the bolts. I've took most of the bits off the front, took the bolts out, each end here and up there. That's all loose now. Got unclipped the radiator from the piece of metal at the front. This I couldn't get out. It just wouldn't come out at all. I tried all sorts, penetrating fluid, I tried leaving it, warming it, not having it at all. It won't come out, so that's going to have to stay in. So I've managed to loosen this off so it's free. That then gives us a bit of movement, which I'm hoping will be sufficient to access the bolt that's been a bit tricky underneath. But I'll report back to you in a little while. So next on the list of things to do is we're going to take the two pipes out on the low pressure side from here. That involves taking out one of these star-shaped socket screws again, the E screws, and we'll take off the high pressure pipe, and the two pipes that go up beyond underneath the pump that come up here are the ones that the plastic pipes that are blocking the head of the screw to hold the pump in. So I'm hoping when we detach these, we can take them away, and that'll let us get access to the bolts underneath. You take the screw out, you take the plate off, and then there's a plastic clip to release the two pipes, and then they should come away no problem. But be careful, because plastic can be brittle on older vans. Okay. Now the good news is I've got the pump out. I'm not going to lie to you, the bottom bolt was ridiculously hard to get to. Hi again, I'm just waiting for a replacement high pressure pump to come in the delivery. I think it should be here today. But something else that happened was, while I had the problem with the pump leaking, I also had a problem with the overflow pipe for the I think it's called the injector valley overflow pipe. This one, if you can see that down there. This pipe, it goes to the back of the intake, back of the head on the intake, around the back of the here, and it's just a pipe straight out, and apparently it's an overflow for the injector valley. So the gully in here where the injectors sit, if there's any leakages or any drips or anything like that. It runs out the back and goes out and drips onto the road, believe it or not, via that pipe. Now mine was running out at a relatively fast pace, so I'm going to investigate and just see if there's any problem with any leakages that I can see in here while I'm waiting for the pump to arrive. So I'm going to whiz this off and have a look inside and see if we can see anything cracked or disconnected. Okay, so the replacement pump's arrived. It's original genuine Bosch exchange unit. It comes with the high pressure outlet port already screwed in, so I've now got to return the old one to get the difference in the money, and I'm going to fit this one now, and hopefully that'll improve the engine and solve the leak problem that we had. I might even get better fuel efficiency out of it, because that pump, I would imagine, has been on for a good time, if not from day one, so it could be 10 years plus that pump old. Might be worn, I don't know, but I'm hoping this is going to do the job, so I'm going to get on with it now and get the van back together. So I'll come back to you later. Fitting is going to be a reversal of taking it apart as we did earlier, so I'll get on with that now and I'll report back when I've done it. I've bought a new auxiliary belt as well because of the diesel contamination. There was a lot of diesel dripping from the pump directly onto the auxiliary belt, and it was just soaked, and you could see it was getting polished and starting to harden with the diesel. So I've bought a new belt which I'll put on at the same time. Okay, see you later.